Really? Your emotions have sound?
Yeah, I would be at a party, and you'd see some beautiful woman walk in, and you'd hear all the males. I could hear their animal nature grunting like monkeys.
No kidding.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And happy feelings. It all sounded more like animals to me. Some happy, some not, and some feelings like I could always tell who was suicidal because it was a very powerful, draining kind of buzz I would hear, and I could just look around and just know that this person was very depressed or suicidal.
Yeah.
And that was all, I became antisocial. I just wanted to stay home and not go out a lot.
But it took you really a couple of years to adapt to what you experience and to learn to handle these energies and the emotions.
And it was almost a curse, and I didn't want to hear what most people have to think. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But what helped me was buying an electric keyboard, musical keyboard, and I started toning with the keys, and that would clear my mind and take me to clear places. And it was music that helped me adjust my frequencies, actually.
Did you ever experience an emotion that surprised you or was particularly uncommon, like peace or serenity?
Many times. Many times. And the good news that it's there, it's always there for you to tap into. Life is about becoming what I call emotionally harmonic.
If you were to watch television at that time, could you tell if someone was lying or if they were going to commit suicide? Would you get that same sense over the airwaves, or did you have to be in the same room with them?
Well, I didn't watch television that much back then.
Okay.
I have since come to see television as an instrument of light, and I believe someone can become enlightened just watching television. A funny statement, isn't it?
No. I feel that every time I watch Boston Legal.
But it's very true, especially with all the satellite systems. You can have the university channels. You can have anything. And I believe that you can get enlightenment off of television as an instrument of light. When people tell me there's nothing good on television, I said, what are you watching?
Right, exactly. Clearly they're not watching South Park, or they'd already be full-blown enlightened.
Because you can travel to so many places, you can be in so many places that you don't even have to leave your home, which is almost like the old saying of the mountain comes to Muhammad.
It's kind of like what you've described in the past of the Panoramic Life Review, and the respect that you get to be privy to other people's experiential knowledge and their adventures and their learning, and you get to include that, layer that on top of your own without leaving your living room.
It's amazing, and never before in history have we been able to do this. Even some of the most remote places on Earth, you can be in touch with other humans. In the old days, say even 100, 200 years ago, if someone was starving in Africa, you never even heard about it in your lifetime.
Right.
Nowadays, you hear about it at the speed of light. We are so connecting now; it's astounding. And we're connecting on our joy, and we're connecting on our universal pain level, too, because there are a lot of humans suffering. And the interesting thing is that as time moves on now, there becomes less and less reasons why anyone should be suffering on this planet at this time.
Right. We're moving faster than the speed of light. We're moving at the speed of thought.
It's astounding how fast things are growing and how we're becoming so connected, or I should say reconnected to ourselves, because we all come from the same source.
I want to keep Marcus on for a little bit longer, but there was an interesting question that came up as far as in the chat room that I want to throw in the mix while we're kind of in this play. So first, by the way, let me welcome anyone who's joined us. The show is You Are What You Love. I'm Washali, the wild child of the airwaves, the author of the book You Are What You Love and Wisdom Rising. And today my guest is the amazing Mellen-Thomas Benedict. He is the most researched near-death experience case. His website is Mellen, Mellen-Thomas.com. And his books about his near-death experience that were at least an hour and a half are going to be released this September. And I want to encourage you to go to his website, Mellen, Mellen-Thomas.com. And not only will you get a sneak preview of the covers of those books, but you can pre-order his book. So in September, when those are hot off the press, they will be sent to you immediately. You can also sign up for a workshop that Mellen and I will be co-teaching at Omega at the end of August, the beginning of September. And before I get to the question, one of the things, Marcus, I wanted to tell you is I so appreciate what you've done as far as sharing Mellen as a resource on the planet, because that's how I see him, as a rare and precious resource. And
absolutely.
I want to acknowledge your sharing him. And what I would like to do is I want you to email me. My email is V as in Violet, V as in Wishali, v@purplev.com.
Could you type that, or I'll get it from your website anyhow?
Okay, right. I'll put it in the chat room, sweetheart. I want you to email me, v@purplev.com. And what I'm going to do is when there is a copy of Mellen's book, I am going to send you as my gift a copy of his books.
Oh, that's super sweet.
so that you would have it, so you'll be the first one on your block, so that you can go back to all the other people that you've turned on to Mellen. And you can hold up the book and say, you can order your own copy, but this is mine. And we'll see what we can do to get a signed copy from Mellen to you, sweetheart.
Sure, that would be very, very wonderful. But I must insist, Vaishali, because so many people ask me that they really want to know how Mellen managed to go every day to the light. As this, it's just
how can he go back
so
to
fascinating, and so many people would like to do. Is there a special technique he uses, or was he just empowered by something that developed?
That's a great question, Marcus. That's a great question. How does Mellen go back to the light at will? That's a great question. Melman, you want to knock that one out of the ballpark, babe?
Well, sure. I've been asked that question many, many times, and for me, it all began shortly after my near-death experience, when the light would sort of just take me out of my body, just almost at any time. And each time in the beginning, when I thought that was happening, I thought I was dying, because, you leave your body. But I would have this dual awareness in which I would be with the light, and yet I was always aware of what my body was doing. It's an odd perspective, but so I could be in two places at once. And I learned not to fear that after a while, because every time I would go to the light, we would have these conversations, and then I wouldn't die. I'd find myself right back in my body. And I developed that into a gift that I wanted to keep. I wanted to always bring back something that would be useful, tangible, testable, that sort of thing. And so that's how I developed my relationship with the light. And I suggest people wanting to develop their, quote, psychic powers or whatever, try to set up little things that they can prove and things they can repeat. So for me, it was a natural thing that started happening spontaneously on its own, and I didn't know other near-deathers weren't doing this at all until I met Team H. Atwater, who discovered me.